And welcome back to the 4 Point Plan. Hello, everybody. It is Sunday, December 27th, 2020. This is episode 26, I believe. Could be 27. I've lost track because we have just been going forever. It's the 4 Point Plan, and it keeps coming at you every week, folks. It's exciting. It's fun. It's a 4 Point Plan to help you battle drug addiction, and we are here. As always, I am JR. I am a drug counselor from Los Angeles, California. I am joined by my two close friends. First up is Mr. Sean. Say hello, Sean.
Good morning, everybody. Hope you had a good holiday.
Oh, that's right. Nice sentiment there from Sean. And
Aw.
good morning there, Guy.
Good morning, everybody. And I guess happy holidays too.
Oh, that's right. We're in the middle of the holidays. It is happening. It's happening. We're over here. We're staying clean and sober. We're using the 4 Point Plan. We're going to 90 meetings in 90 days. We're talking to our sponsor, going to our home group, fulfilling our service commitments. We're being of service to the program that saved our lives. This is a 4 Point Plan, man. This is the way that we do it. This is how people get sober and stay sober. You know, it's interesting. I was thinking there are a lot of other approaches. I had an old boss at one of my first treatment centers I worked at, and I haven't talked to him in 10 years. And I saw that he has a recovery podcast, and it's really interesting because this guy he's never had an addiction problem, but he's worked in the field. So, you know, he has some expertise, but the way that he does it, man, is he's got this real softball approach, you know, like this real underhanded approach, this real gentle kind of spiritual, genuine human kindness approach to helping people battle their addictions. And, you know, that's cool, man. I mean, that's the kind of thing you'd like if you like that kind of thing, right? But I feel like here over at the 4 Point Plan, we go a little more heavy-handed. You know what I'm saying? We go a little bit more in your face, man. We're a little bit more direct with the way that we're doing this, because what we're saying is if you fucking drink and use, you're going to fucking die. You're going to go to jail. Your life is going to be shit. And so we think that you could do these four things, these four simple things to save your life. And, you know, I may be a dick about it, the way that I introduce it to people, but God damn it, man, I don't want you to die. I'm a dick because I don't want you to die. All right. And that's what I want to talk about here on the 4 Point Plan today is I want to talk about if someone you love is struggling with alcoholism and drug addiction, they are in danger. Their lives are in fucking danger, and we do not want them to die. People that we love, we want them to live. We want them to live their dreams. We want them to have a life beyond their wildest dreams, and we know how they can do that. We know that there's a way out, man. I was trapped in that shit. My brother was trapped in that shit, and we had to fucking bury him, man, because he died with a needle in his arm. This is what I'm saying. There's a way out. We don't want to fucking bury you. We don't want you to die from this thing. And so maybe I'm a dick about it, but it's because I fucking care so much, man. I really do. Now we can give you all the love and kindness and support that you need, man, but we may come off a little harsh trying to get you there. We may come off a little mean telling you, man, get your ass to a fucking meeting. You know, someone comes to me and they're like, oh, JR, man, I'm really struggling with my recovery. And the first thing I say is, well, what meeting did you go to last night? And 9 times out of 10, they come back with, well, I didn't go to a meeting. And I'm like, well, that's why your fucking recovery sucks balls. And that's why your life is going so shitty. You want a good life, go do some fucking 90 and 90, man. You want to stop being depressed, maybe you ought to go out there and help somebody. You know, I realize it's a selfish program, right? But the way that I feed my program, the way that I feed my recovery is by helping other people. I'm not doing it because I'm a super sweet, wonderful fucking Santa Claus kind of saintly guy. I'm doing it because I know that helping other people fucking keeps me clean. Keeping me clean is the best thing I can do for the people who love me. So if you love somebody, man, why don't you introduce them to the 4 Point Plan? Why don't you tell them, hey, man, go on to 4pointplan.com. Spell that shit out. FOURPOINTPLAN.com. Go on the fucking website and listen to JR and Guy and Sean yell at you about recovery. Because maybe this shit will save your life, man. I am so sick of burying good people over this disease, man. Burying people I love, and you don't want people that you love to die. So what can you do? I'm telling you, man, and turn them on to us. We're here for this reason, man. We're here to save lives. It sounds super fucking arrogant. I know. People ask me, hey, JR, what do you do? I'm like, yo, I'm in the life-saving business, man. Like, oh, whatever. You're so arrogant. All you do is fucking counsel drug addicts. But listen, drug addicts are fucking dying by the hundreds, by the thousands, man. Drugs get deadlier and deadlier every year. For some fucking reason, it keeps getting worse. I remember back when I got sober 12 years ago, right? I was doing heroin and heroin addicts were dying and it was horrific. About 4 or 5 years into it, man, people came to me and they said, JR, did you know that heroin is deadlier now? And I'm like, what the fuck? That's stupid. There's no way it's deadlier. It was already deadly. Like pretty much when you did heroin before, you knew that there was a chance that you would die. And they said, no, man, the chances of you dying got way worse because now there's something called fentanyl out there in the world. And people are putting fentanyl in heroin and people are doing fentanyl in replacement of heroin. And I'm like, well, I did some fentanyl. But apparently these new strains of fentanyl, this new solution that the chemists have come up with includes something called carfentanil, which is even 100 times deadlier than regular fentanyl, which is 100 times deadlier than heroin. So it turned out to be true, man, that people are in more danger of dying than ever before because of drugs. And it's a scary fucking thought. And I already knew, man, how deadly alcohol was. People I know have died from drinking, man. They've died from crashing their cars. They've died from getting in fucking domestic violence disputes, all behind the alcohol. It blows my mind that drugs have always been illegal and alcohol has been legal since Prohibition, when alcohol is one of the deadliest drugs that there is known to man. So if someone you know, man, is drinking too much, man, or they can't stop shooting heroin or smoking crack, the chances of them surviving this addiction are not very good. However, we have a way to improve your survival rate. It is called the 4-point plan. If you do these 4 simple things, man, we can help to save your life. And it's amazing how many times, man, someone will tell me, oh, well, you know, your way is not the only way. And then they end up fucking dead. And then someone will tell me, oh, JR, I did the 4-point plan. Now I have a life beyond my wildest dreams. I'm like, fucking course you do. Because that's what we told you would happen if you did the 4-point plan. If you go to 90 means in 90 days, if you get a sponsor, someone who's been there, someone who knows how to help you survive this thing, man, then your chances improve. If you get a home group, and I mean a home group, a place where you feel at home, a place where people treat you like family, then that is going to help you. And finally, man, you got to be a service. That's what I was saying, man. Get back to the program to save your life. Go fucking help somebody. Be selfish. People don't know, man, when I'm helping people, I'm doing it for me. I'm not doing it for them. I'm doing it for me. I want them to get better. I want them to survive. But every time, man, one of those people comes to me and says, I did the 4-point plan and it helped me, I get jacked, man. I'm like, yeah, my recovery just got stronger because I just saved another life. Woo! That's how the 4-point plan works.
We're hearing a lot more about those people lately too. Like there's a lot more people come up and say, oh, I heard about the 4-point plan. I heard about it. And I hear you on the podcast. I'm like, I don't even know who you are. So it's making maybe a small movement, but it's getting there.
It's growing.
But people have to want it, like, this plan will save your life. But if you don't want it, you're not willing, then there's nothing, we can do. We can't want it more than you want your own recovery. I have a brother that I wish would do it. And he's just not ready, and I know that it's probably going to end very bad for him. But he has to want it, and.
Well, Sean, let me correct you, brother, because yes, I suppose that you need a desire before you get into action. But the truth is we're not here for the wanters, man. We're here for the doers, right? Yeah. I did this shit even when I didn't want to. I woke up and was like, I want to use heroin. I want to use heroin. I'm going to go to a meeting. But in reality, what I want to do is I want to use heroin. But I'm going to go to a meeting and maybe things will get better, right? So me and Guy have had this discussion a lot of times, man. It's not for those who want it. It's not for those who need it. It's only for those who do it. It's only for those who. Guy, tell us, man. You said, "Oh no, it's for people who need
it." No, I used to always get in the arguments. I don't know. We used to bring it up a lot when we were in your 4-point classes, I guess you would call them, people would say, well, maybe they don't, I don't need it. Some people would say that, or some people would say, well, you got to want it. It's only for the people that want it. And JR would always come back with the next one. Nope, it's not for the ones who need it or want it. It's for the ones who are going to do it. And I don't know, just hearing that would make us think about it. Like, well, I guess.
Yeah, back when I was in those classes, there were still 20 people or something allowed to be back then, and there was, I think I might have was probably the only one that actually did it, every one of them on there. Everybody else had a fraction of it. And I'm not saying I'm better than anybody else, but I just did it. So GR would wait for me to be the last one to answer, so I could tell him how many of the points I've hit, and people would always be like, no, I don't need a sponsor. I'm looking for the right one. I can't find the right sponsor. I'm out there shopping. It's like, motherfucker, just get one. If you don't like him, then fire him. But get somebody so you can call. Don't just keep putting it off. Well, I'm waiting for the right connection. I'm waiting for the right person to connect to. Joe always scoffing him.
I honestly believe there's something that lives in a drug addict's brain, man. I honestly believe it. I know it sounds a little wacky, a little metaphysical, a little fucking comic book, right? But I feel like there's like a little man that lives inside my brain. And what he wants is for me to shoot heroin. Like he's just like heroin, heroin, heroin all the time. He's always saying that shit, right? And so when someone tells me, oh, the 4-point plan's not for me, I don't need a sponsor, I think, that's not true. And that's not really you saying that. That's a little man that lives inside your brain that wants to go out and use again. And so he's giving you excuses to not get a sponsor. But in reality, man, once you ignore that voice in your brain and listen to my voice and listen to the 4-point plan idea, man, you go get a sponsor. Wait, just try it. Just try it and see what happens. And this is important, man. And I keep stressing this. If someone you love can't stop drinking and using, this 4-point plan can help them stop drinking and using. And if someone stops drinking and using, they'll show up for their events, man. They'll show up for their responsibilities. They'll get a job. They'll become employable. They'll build some self-esteem. They'll get their teeth fixed. Like they'll do all the things that drug addicts can't do, man. And so, I mean, even if you don't want to fucking do the 4-point plan, do it anyways, and let's see what happens, man. And believe it or not, man, there's a dude I know. He didn't do the 4-point plan, right? But he did try to do the program. He went to meetings for a year, and he got a fucking birthday, and then he went out and drank. And I'm thinking, oh man, that just sounds dumb to me. But God bless him. I hope that he makes it back okay. And chances are, man, they say that. What was I heard at your meeting the other night, guy? It's no fun getting drunk, having a belly full of booze and
a head full of it. A head full of AA.
Yeah, that'll definitely ruin your high.
I tell people, I hope that when you're out there using, you hear my voice. If someone comes to me and says, I relapse, I'm like, hey, tell the truth. Did you think about me? Because I want my voice to be in their heads, man. If they're out there using it, I want them to hear in their head. Is that JR? Is he saying 90 and 90? What's it? Oh, man. Oh.
Yeah, that's a hard thing. That's a hard thing to realize. If we do get a little bit of a better life, maybe we were able to put together some abstinence, right? And we didn't fully commit to maybe going to the meetings, getting the sponsor, getting to know people at one of those meetings, like a home group, or being of service. We might have just went to meetings and just sat there, weren't really being a part of it, helping out the meeting, helping out other people. And then we were getting some abstinence. Our life started feeling better. We started feeling good because we weren't killing ourselves with drugs or alcohol. Maybe we got a little bit better, and then we go back out, which happens sometimes. If we know that there's a little bit of a solution that's there, man, I can't see how that cannot be on our minds, right? Like what that gal says and what other people say. She goes, there was nothing. She goes, nothing worse than just getting a head full of AA and a body and a belly full of booze, you know? So just knowing that there is a solution, and there might even be something else that we could possibly do a little bit more than what we did the first time we tried this thing, man, that's gonna really play in my head. I know that. And I
Yeah, I
had a
mean,
healthy fear of that.
it's like it's so true. Just like all like JR always says that your dreams will come true, and it's so true. It's like coming from, like, for me, for example, like most of my adult life, I mean, I always had a job, but I was never on time. I was at least 7 to 15 minutes late every single day. I don't know how I got fired, but one of the biggest positive results from the 4 point plan that's happened for me, besides like spirituality and like friendships, is like my responsibility now, like accountability. I'm reliable, I'm dependable, up early. Like I'm pretty sure my job loves me. I don't have any problems there. It's just things like that. Like my bills, JR always told me when I was super new in recovery that if I continue to stay sober, you too will have bills. Like I'm rebuilding my financials, and like just being responsible, and just being a good dad, and all of it is a direct result of this program and the 4 point plan. It's amazing.
If
Like it's amazing the trip, how easy it is just to do the next right thing and watch how everything unfolds for yourself.
if you don't do it, man, or if for some reason you decide to step back out, right? You relapse. Who's gonna notice, right? Well, fucking everybody's gonna notice. Your family's gonna notice. Your
Yeah,
job's gonna notice. People that are close
everybody.
to you are gonna notice. But you know who's gonna take it the hardest, man? Your fucking home group, man. I go to my home group and I see someone who's been in my home group for a long time get up and take a newcomer chip, and my heart sinks, man. I get bummed the fuck out, man. You know why? Because those people in my home group are like my fucking family, man. Like I love those people, and I watch them, and I see them when they come in, and I see them stay sober, and then when it's relapse time, man, and they went back out, you know, it's hard, man. And I always ask them, was it awesome? Is it free now? Do they pay you to do it now? Is it no longer deadly? Like I talk shit to them because I'm kind of in your face about this. But man, when a home group member relapses, it is kind of hard to deal with for me emotionally because I love the people in my home group. And yes, I recently adopted a new home group to fit my schedule. My home group had always been Saturday mornings, and I work Saturday mornings. Um, but I feel the same way about my new home group, man. I see those people there every week, and I care about them, and I don't want them to relapse. I'm not saying stay sober so you don't disappoint people. What I'm saying is get a home group and fucking care about people. That's what I'm saying, man. Like I got this one friend, I got this one friend. She's been struggling for years, man. Just for years, she relapses, and I've seen her take dirty chips, man. And I seen her take a dirty cake one time, right? and uh, and, and at my home group, my original home group, my NA home group, we would have this sheet of paper that we would send around the room, and everybody would sign happy birthday on it to the person who was taking the birthday. And I seen this girl who had been struggling for years, and I seen her take this dirty cake. And when her sheet came to me, I just
What'd you
passed it
write?
on. I didn't do anything.
Oh,
And then at the end of the meeting, she came up to me and she's like, "Yo, JR, you didn't sign my paper." And I said, "No, I didn't." Walked away.
did you tell her why?
No, I just walked away.
I'm
I
surprised you
didn't
didn't.
have to. I didn't have to tell her why.
Yeah,
Did
yeah,
I
true.
have to tell her that she has been using? I didn't have to. She knew.
Yeah,
She
Yeah,
knew, and I
they
think
know.
in that moment, looking at me in the eyes and seeing that I did refuse to sign that thing, I think she knew that I knew. And like I said, man, I'm a bit of a dick about this thing. I'm a bit in your face with the way that I present this recovery model. It's not the most popular idea, man, to be hardcore and to be aggressive or aggro to help an addict. But the reason I do it is because that's what helped me. Fucking pussyfooting around, treating me with kid gloves, babying me, did not help me. If anything, it helped me continue to use because I didn't accept or swallow the seriousness of what I was doing. Maybe in the back of my mind, I knew it was deadly. I knew that my brother had died. But I was not willing, man. I wasn't willing to do the program, and people were being nice to me. And finally, people started saying, "Hey, JR, you need to quit fucking around, man. We've been putting up with your shit for way too long. You need to stay the fuck sober. Like, you're wasting our fucking time coming here and fucking coming to meetings and continuing to use. Why don't you fucking do a favor for yourself, man, and fucking get clean for a change?"
Stop bleeding all over our fucking tables, JR.
Nah, that's right. I used to bleed on the table. I had one dude, man. He had been in the wrestling business, and so that was important to me, man. I admired him, and he had 5 years clean. And he grabbed me one time and he gave me a hug, and it was one of those real strong hugs. And he held on to me a little bit longer than you would expect, and he whispered in my ear. He said, "Just stay clean, brother." And that is the kind of fucking recovery I need. There's love in that, but there's also, God damn it, in that. There's also, like, for me, I know you love me when you're fucking serious with me, not when you're being a sweetheart, like, "Oh, well, tell me what you think it would be to help you stay clean." No, fuck all that noise. Instead, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to tell you, do the fucking 4-point plan. Do my 90 meetings in 90 days. Get a sponsor, get a commitment, and God damn it, man, get a home group. Find a meeting that you go to every week at the same time, man. And this is great because we've got this little conflict over here at the 4-point plan today. Me and Guy and Sean all have separate ideas about what exactly constitutes a home group. I believe it's one meeting that you go to every week at the same time at the same place. That is your fucking home group. You can have regular meetings, and regular meetings are bitching, man. I can name off my schedule, man. It was Monday night at the park at Shadow Ranch Park, Tuesday night, Shadow Ranch Park, Wednesday night, the men's meeting, Thursday night, Platte Hatteras, Friday night, Shadow Ranch Park, Saturday morning, Platte Hatteras, Saturday night at Glade, Sunday morning gratitude meeting, Sunday night at Glade. Like, those were my regular meetings. I went to all those meetings every week. I never fucking missed them, right? But Saturday morning at Glade, sharing from the heart, that was my home group. That was the meeting that if you were like, "Oh my God, I got to find JR. Where do I find JR? I'm not sure where to find JR." If you showed up Saturday morning at 10 o'clock at Sharing from the Heart at Platte Hatteras, you knew I would fucking be there because that was my home group. And people that do the 4-point plan, they don't miss their fucking home group, right? Now, like I said, there's been some discerning discussion about what this means. I think Guy's stuck a little bit. Let's talk to Sean first. Sean, tell me about what constitutes your home group.
Well, my home group, there's traditions. I have to go to the 3 core meetings to even to become a member of my home group. But Monday was my book study. Tuesday was a newcomer meeting, quality of life. They're all quality of life. Wednesday, men's stag, which I'm secretary, quality of life. Thursday was the women's meeting, so I would always shoot over to the Valley Club to get my meeting in on Thursday. Friday was a participation speaker meeting, quality life. Saturday, speaker meeting, quality life. Sunday was a newcomer meeting, quality of life. For me, I mean, I go to the same meeting, the same group every single day. That's my home group.
So you got 7 home groups? Is that what you're saying?
Well, they're all the same meeting. I mean, it's the hall's my home group. That's my home.
It's your home hall?
Yeah, my home hall.
Sean's got a home hall.
I got a home hall. But I mean, Thursday was the women's meeting, so there was no meeting there for men that day. So I went to the Valley Club. I wouldn't say I wouldn't say that was my home group, but I mean, I know people there.
Oh, so you had 6 home groups?
Yeah, 6 and a half. I have one home group.
Guy, how many home groups you got, brother?
I got 1 for sure.
Oh.
But I've had more than 1. I think. Can you guys see me? Am I
We
frozen?
can hear you.
You're frozen, but go ahead.
All right. Well, as long as you can hear me. I think you can have more than 1 home group. I don't recommend having maybe 7 home groups, but you can have more than one, in my opinion, because a home group is, like JR said, it's one particular meeting that you're going to each and every week on that specific day at that specific time, right?
Yep.
And you can know those people at that home group, right?
Yep.
So if we're going to a 90 and 90, let's say, or we're going to that many meetings in a week, and we're going to the same meetings each time, I think it's possible that you can have more than one home group, but make sure you have one. That is true. Make sure you have one home group, at least one that you're going to each and every week, no matter what, you're going to make it to that meeting. And then if you're going to another one, like there's another meeting that I've had that I go to consistently each and every day, each and every week on that day at that time. And I guess by definition, it is like a home group to me, because I'm seeing those same people on that in that specific meeting. And it might be, some of the people might be different from the people that I see in my other home group.
So you would have a home group member and another home group member who have never seen each other before in their entire lives, even though they both go to your home group. Wow, that's weird. And if you miss one home group and I'd say, hey, Guy, how was your home group? You say, oh, well, I missed it, but it's okay because I'm going to another home group tomorrow.
Yeah, that's where it could be dangerous. I agree. It could be slippery. It could be slippery.
Just don't have no group.
Yes, I do have the one. I think I have a.
Why do you keep saying think? You're the secretary there.
Yeah. Well, I consider, I should say. I consider I have
that is your home group.
That
You're
is my
secretary
home
there.
Right. That is my home group.
There's a difference between home group and a
home group. It is my home group.
Lady Bird.
Because I was at that meeting last weekend when you said, this is my home group. Now you're having doubts. Now you're giving mixed
Wait, did he say this is my home group, or did he say this is my home group?
I'm not sure how he said
home group. Is my home group.
We'll see if it's your home group on Friday if you show up again now that you're not the secretary.
Yep, that'll be the test. That'll be the testimony right there. If you show up to that meeting each and every week at that time, and that every week you show up there, then you might be able to call it your home group.
Hey, if he's not there, it's okay though, because he'll probably be at his home group the next day.
I guess I kind of feel blessed with my home groups, because I don't know, they have a meeting every day, and it's a requirement for my sponsor that I go there every single day, except for Thursday because it's the women's meeting. And if I don't, then I gotta find a new sponsor. I don't want a new sponsor. I want to stay sober. So I go to my home group every day. Well, now because the pandemic, it's only 3 days a week, but I still do the podcast, and I go to JR and Guy's home group every Friday.
No, that's my home group. I don't have a home group.
That's my home group.
Home group.
It's important that you get a home group, because without a home group, you're homeless.
No transient recovery.
Homeless thing.
No transient recovery.
No transient recovery. That's right. Get in there, man. Be a part of it.
Go home.
Let them know who you are.
Just go home.
And here's another important piece about the home group. You don't want it to be your secret home group, right?
Ooh, yeah.
I asked someone, hey, man, you got a home group? And they're like, oh, yeah, man, I go Thursday nights. It's my home group. I'm like, all right, cool. Did you tell them? And they're like, what? I'm like, did you tell them? Did you tell them it's your home group? Because I don't want you to have a secret home group where nobody knows it's your home group. Because if you go to the meeting every week, but you don't talk to nobody and you sit in the back, and then what you're doing is you're refusing to commit. You're refusing to make a commitment. And I'm not talking about a service commitment. I'm talking about, just being honest and telling people, hey, I'm going to be here every week. If you tell someone, if you say on a meeting level, this is my home group, then the other people in the room say, oh, well, then we know that you're going to be here. And when I was new, I took this shit so seriously, man, that I went to the business meeting at your meetings once a month. They will have a business meeting or a steering committee, they call it sometimes, where you will stay after the end of the meeting and everyone sits there together and you talk about the business of the meeting. You talk about where are you going to donate the seventh tradition money that came in? Are there any books that need to be bought? Any literature needs to be bought for the home group, right? So I took it so seriously when I was new that I got nervous the day that I was going to declare my home group. I went to the meeting. I sat there through the meeting. I knew at the end that there was going to be the steering committee. I went to the business meetings steering committee, and I raised my hand. I said, hey, I'm JR. I'm an addict, and I would like to make this my home group. And I wasn't sure, but I thought that they were going to have to vote to allow me to join the home group, to allow me to be a member of the home group. I was super nervous. I'm like, but what if they don't want me to be? What if they don't want me to be in their home group? What if they reject me and say, no, you're going to have to go find another home. Our home group is full. We have enough home group members. You go find another home group. I was scared. And plus, man, I was an asshole. So I thought, man, it may be a close vote. They may really have a tough time to decide whether or not to let me into their home group.
Yeah, that's not how it works.
I went and asked them if I could join the home group, and what I saw was a bunch of faces light up and a bunch of smiles and a bunch of love, because they knew, man, that I was taking this thing seriously, man, that I was committing to my recovery, right? And they're like, well, JR, if you're gonna be a member of this home group, you better get a service commitment. And I think that's when they put me on trash. I think I got on a cleanup committee, where at the end of the meeting, I would walk around with a trash can and pick up everybody's coffee cups, So I killed two birds with one stone. I got a home group and I got a commitment. And then I got excited about service. I started taking commitments at every meeting, because
you did that at Quality of Life too. I remember the day you shared from the podium. It was a Tuesday night. You said, "This is my home group." We said home group.
I loved Tuesday night. I can't wait for meetings to come back in person so I can go back to Tuesday night.
We're gonna have a bigger, better hall. We're gonna have a bigger, better hall.
That one I could probably secretary, guy.
Yeah.
Because it's a Tuesday?
Tuesday night. That's what I was,
yeah.
Guy tried to railroad me into secretary in a different Tuesday night meeting. It started too early for me to commit because of my job.
He roped me into this.
Hey, you tried to rope me into this.
You roped him into this?
He wanted me to rope me into this.
I didn't have anything to do with it.
He roped me into this.
Encouraging it.
Encouraged the roping.
I didn't start the rope of whipping around.
You wanted to rope me into this. That guy over there wanted to rope me into this.
Other people came up with the idea.
It's because they love you, JR.
It's all good, man. God stepped in and intervened, and he got a perfect secretary for that Tuesday meeting.
Oh, they
keep going.
Actually, they said they want you as a co-secretary of that meeting with Jessica.
Unless she's Friday night meeting.
Oh, no, it's the other Jessica.
Yeah.
Well, Friday night's my home group. Eventually, maybe I'll secretary that meeting in another 6 months. But, guys, you realize I'm getting real close to finishing school. I will graduate at the end of summer from Pepperdine with a master's degree. So, I'm taking the school thing very serially. And I want to get my degree, and I want to keep doing what I'm doing, man. I want to keep helping people.
And stop going to meetings. And
I ain't stopping going to meetings for nothing.
Did you call your sponsor yesterday?
I've been calling my sponsor every day. And hey, the good news, we haven't announced it yet on the podcast. My sponsor is recovering very well from the coronavirus. He is getting better. As a matter of fact, I saw him on Christmas Eve. He secretaried a marathon meeting. So it was awesome to see him feeling better. So this is it's working, man. I love my sponsor. I love that guy. So right now, my home group is the same home group as Guy's home group. Well, is it your home group or your home group?
That's my home group.
Oh shit! Apparently, I'm in
Oh,
Guy's
shit.
home group on Friday nights. Good ass meeting. I never miss it. I love it. I love the people that are there. If I start getting high, those people are gonna know. They're gonna pay attention. They're not gonna sign my birthday card.
No, we're not going to get you a birthday card either.
They're gonna give you a big hug and say, "Get back in here."
Well, guy might give you a Twinkie.
I've seen Guy give 6-month Twinkies to people that didn't have 6 months.
Mostly women.
No, I definitely vouch that they have 6 months.
Oh, you're vouching for him now? You're a voucher?
Well,
You're the validator?
You're the co-signer?
no. They have 6 months.
The co-signer of bullshit? Hey, I got 20 years, Guy. I'm coming up on 20 years, just like 7.5 more years. I have 20 years. I'm coming up on it. You co-sign that bullshit? Give me 40 Twinkies.
Guy's coming up on 4 years.
Guy's birthday is very soon.
Yeah. He's still got 3 years right now, but
Guy, when's your birthday?
13th.
Hang on, my internet was going out. What happened?
When's your birthday?
7th. 11th.
It's January 13th.
13th. Oh, that's right. Yep, see? Call Guy. Call Guy on his birthday.
Ooh, it's not in my calendar. I got to put this in here.
It's in my calendar. 'Cause that's what the 4-point plan has taught me how to do. Think about somebody else.
I am putting it in my phone right now. I got to put a little alarm on it to remind me.
You go to a meeting on Wednesday, Guy?
Did I or am I?
Are you going to? 'Cause your birthday's on a Wednesday.
Oh, it's on yeah, that's right. It's on Wednesday this year. I might have to. I work nights that night.
Oh, yeah. How many meetings do you go to a week? 3, 4?
No, I'm usually 5 minimum, sometimes more.
That's good.
Hey, is Big Earn? Is that his day that he has a meeting
Right now.
Wednesday? You can go to Big Earn's meeting, right? Or is that Thursday?
That's Thursday, I think.
Okay.
In the morning, isn't it? Isn't it his?
Yeah, that's what. If I go to a meeting, it'll have to be that. It'll have to be a morning meeting.
Yeah, he asked me to speak, but I work.
Yeah, he asked me to speak too, and I was like, "Yeah." He's like 8 o'clock. I'm like, "Yeah."
No.
And then I found out 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, "No, what?"
There's a 9 p.m. meeting I go to once in a while if I that are
Feeling itchy.
during the week.
All right.
I used to hit up 10 o'clock meetings at Radford. If I was working evenings and I get off late, I'd go over to Radford for the 10 o'clock. Those were usually pretty cool meetings, man. Nilo
Yeah, they
atmosphere
still have
over
them
Radford.
going on.
Nice. And now Radford is online. Is that true? I heard that there's a whole
Yeah.
Radford online schedule.
Yeah, they have a lot of meetings online, more than they did in person.
Nice.
Do they still have their meeting hall, or do they shut it down?
I heard that they shut the meeting hall down.
I know they're not having meetings in person right now.
Have you been to in-person meetings lately, Guy? Have you been back to the park?
Not in a little while.
Yeah, me neither.
Been doing Zooms.
Yeah, I love the Zoom meetings.
Your Zoom group.
Guy, you getting excited about your birthday? You got kind of silent all of a sudden.
Yeah, it's
Is
coming up.
there something you want to tell us?
It's coming up.
Can I sign
I
your
don't know.
card?
Yeah,
Yeah,
am I
do
gonna
get
sign?
excited.
Am I
It
doing
hasn't hit me too much yet. I knew it hit me the other day. I was like, oh fuck, it's coming up real soon. But I don't know.
It's a valid birthday.
It's another day.
No, what? Are you fucking kidding me? This is the guy that dresses up for fucking Arbor Day. This is the guy that dresses up like a groundhog on Groundhog's Day. He dresses like an asshole for every holiday, and now he's talking about his sober birthday, the only fucking holiday that matters. He's like, oh, it's just another day. Fucking bullshit. That's fucking Guy Shirk Day, brother. That's like Guy Fawkes Day,
is
but
a big
fucking
deal.
better.
You're gonna dress up as a coin or something.
As a coin.
You
Is
wear
that
all
your
gold.
big birthday cake outfit?
Oh my god.
I, you guys gave me some great ideas. Well, I am excited for it. Don't get me wrong, but I just wasn't anticipating it
Ever?
as much as I did. Maybe the first one, I was like, "Whoa, it's coming!" I was so excited to get that first one. I'm excited to get every year, every day. Sometimes it hits me at different times. I don't know.
So
Sometimes
I don't want to embarrass anybody, so I'm not going to mention any names, right? But at work the other day, someone celebrated 18 years sober, and someone celebrated 27 years sober. And then I guess you guys had some kind of a birthday celebration for him. I obviously didn't participate because I don't want to get coronavirus, so I hid in my office. But how fucking exciting, man, for those guys to get all those years clean. 27 years for that big dude, and then the 18 for the other one. Man, that's fucking amazing. How was that?
that
It
was
was
great.
yeah. It was good. It gives me inspiration. Like to know that it can happen. And then they shared a little bit about their story for a few minutes, and I mean, yeah, just being around that much recovery it's inspiring.
It is.
It really is. Because I didn't even really know they had that much. Well, I knew the big guy had time, but I didn't know it was that much time. And they both were like, "Oh yeah, well, it's on the same day." Like, "Oh well, I have 18 years today." Weird. Like they didn't really.
Yeah, they were like guy. They're like, just another day. But that's 45 years, man,
Yeah.
combined between the two of them. And how fucking beautiful is that, man? This is what I'm talking about. If you stay sober, your life will become awesome, man. And if the longer you stick around, the better it becomes. It's really good shit, man. And if someone you love is having problems with it, man, turn them onto the 4 Point Plan. Tell them to check out JR and Guy and Sean on the internet. We will tell you on our podcast. Go to 90 Meetings in 90 Days. Get yourself a sponsor. Get a fucking home group or a home group or a home group. Get a home group and go to your home group. Maybe get one of them, maybe get 12 of them. I don't fucking know. But go to your home group and get a commitment, a way to be of service to the program. Give back to the program that will save your life, right? It's the 4 Point Plan, and it's magical and it saves lives. If someone you love is in danger of dying from addiction or alcoholism, tell them to check out the 4 Point Plan. It could save their life. I'm here to help save lives. Guy and Sean are here to help save your life. We will do what we can. We will spread this message of the 4 Point Plan to try to help people, man. And I know one thing for sure. I'm gonna keep going to my home group every week. I ain't gonna miss that shit, man. The home group is important. It's Friday nights for me at 6 o'clock at the Valley Club. It's called Joy of Recovery. It's beautiful because we all get excited and we share our joy of being sober, man. And so if you guys want to check that one out, go search for it on the internet. The password is Serenity with the capital S. Yeah. So hopefully you guys can make it out to my home group and join in with me. And I'm gonna keep doing the 4 Point Plan. That's for damn sure, man. What do you think, Sean? Before we wrap it up, let's talk about your home group, how much you love your home group, and why people should get this thing.
Yeah, I mean, this is my first recovery. It's my first home group. So I mean, they really taught me or showed me what a home group is and what a home group does, and like the fellowship we have and is it's like a family. I mean, it is a family. If one of us gets sick, we all are there for each other, and if somebody needs to move, we all get together and help that person move and
That's
unload the
right. Sean's
truck.
home group will help you move.
Yeah, if you remember. And then on birthdays, if you're coming up on a year, we'll all have a watch for you. We'll all get together 11:45 at night. We'll count down the hours to your year. Usually it's at a house. Usually it's an actual party that we all have. But with the coronavirus, we've been having to do them virtual. I was the first virtual watch we've had. But I mean, my home group, I have a commitment at every single meeting I go to. Every single one. It's my way to get back. It's my way to stay sober. It's my way to stay accountable and responsible. They know I'm going to be there. They know I'm going to show up, which is not how my life used to be in the past because it just wasn't. It was all about me, me, me. It's a good feeling knowing that they know I'm going to be there. They know I'm going to show up. And if I get a commitment or if I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. And that is one of the best joys of recovery for me.
All right, Guy, tell us about your home group, man. Why you're gonna keep going? Why you're gonna keep doing the 4-point plan?
Home group.
Because I'm gonna keep doing that home group because they love me and I love them. Like Sean just said, you get to know these people. They'll be there for you. We care for each other. They genuinely care about each other. Something that you don't see very often in this world. I don't know. I think we talked a lot about the action of the 4-point plan today, and 4-point plan is about action. It's about doing these things in order to keep this recovery going, keep this abstinence going. And if you want to be clean and sober and you're willing to take some actions, try these 4-point plan, these 4 actions right there.
Yeah, that's right. 90 and 90, you get a sponsor, get a home group, get commitment.
Get a commitment at every meeting you go to. That way you know you're going to come back.
And it could give you a life beyond your wildest dreams, as JR would say.
What's that? You get a life beyond your wildest dreams by doing the 4-point plan. By doing the 4-point plan, it'll save some lives, and we get to live a life beyond our wildest dreams. And all we got to do is go to 90 and 90, get a sponsor, get a home group, and get a commitment. Shit, that sounds worth it, man. That's a deal. Life beyond your wildest dreams. Hell yeah. We'll see you next time on the 4-point plan.